X. We've done it. The London curse is fucking finally gone. We've absolutely done it. Get in there, lads. Gary, how does that feel, mate?
It's kind of nice just to get the hoodoo off us back a little bit. And I mean, obviously the resident Fulham fan in the room won't agree, but I think for me that makes us pretty much safe and heaps even more pressure on sort of the bottom 3-5 clubs, really. I think it probably just pulls us away from any need to panic anymore.
100%. The Fulham fan's not actually with us yet, but I think he's dragging his heels.
Coming.
Kyle's actually he's a scum fan, so he's just as fucking bad.
I was a Fulham fan tonight.
To be fair, you've probably been a Fulham fan. You've supported about 5 other teams in your life.
I've got their shirt in the vault. Yeah, it's there. I ain't bought it out for a while.
Classic Surrey Mankey is Gary. Don't worry about him, mate. Boys, from sort of a neutral point of view, what was your sort of take on the game before me and Gary get into it, and obviously when the Fulham boy comes on as well? Greg, we'll start with you, mate.
I thought it was a good game, mate, to be honest. It was very, very open. I don't think they didn't do themselves justice from the form they've been on, but I think you lot done quite well. As I mentioned to you, Tel, I thought Dallas was class tonight, even though he's playing in a different position.
Yeah.
I thought he done quite well. And obviously Rafinha again. I mean, fuck the Pepe and Martial debate. I think we just call it a Rafinha.
He's better than the pair of them put together, mate. What still that is, to be fair, 70 million. I don't even think tonight was his best game.
No.
He flitted in and out of the game, but he's just got that. He just oozes class, doesn't he? Especially when we wear that maroon kit away from home. Jesus Christ.
I think you said it before, Tel. You said it before in one of our pods. He's doubled his price tag straight away already for me, easily. Yeah. Like, you paid, 17 for him, wasn't it, or something like that?
17 mil, yeah. And I don't know if that was euros as well. It might have even been euros, that.
I think he's easily worth double that. He's definitely a 40 million pound player for me, even at the moment, you know what I mean? So
yeah. No, I totally agree, mate. Again, with his age as well, I think he's 23, might be 24, but he's got years left in him, and he's just got so much ability, mate. Let me just bring Shane in because he's joining now. The Fulham fan. Let's all take the piss as soon as he joins.
No, I leave off.
Oh, Shane, welcome, mate.
Shane,
his audio still connecting, so you can probably hear us, but yeah. So, Kyle, what was your sort of take from it anyway, mate?
Yeah, no. Well, I thought it was quite. It's weird, like, you know. I think both teams played quite well. I think Fulham had their chances just like you did. I think that, you know, that they could have easily got back into the game, but yeah, from what I see of it, you played well. I mean, yeah, I'm just here for the piss up, really. I mean, I thought the game could have gone either way, but then again, you can't argue that Leeds have nicked it either, you know. So yeah, I just wanted Fulham to win. I want Fulham to get out of that relegation zone. To be fair, that's all. It meant more to them than it would have done it does to you.
Yeah,
I think what Gary was saying about being safe. I think you were safe regardless of what happens tonight. To be honest with you, because there's too much shit below you. But
yeah, there's too many in between, isn't there?
Yeah, you know, if anyone's going to get dragged in, it certainly ain't going to be you. There's 2 or 3 other teams that get dragged into before you. But no, it was quite a good game, to be fair.
Yeah.
So Bamford done himself no harm in playing like that again tonight, like sort of like an up-use to Gareth, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate.
Just like,
before we go to Shane for his opinion on, like, from the Fulham point of view, what do you, like, everyone? Are we just like, because Gary, I take it you're in my camp where Bamford has to be called up ahead of Watkins. I don't know if that is just we're blinded by bias because we're Leeds fans, but from your three, for example, point of view, would you sort of say, would you have Bamford in there ahead of Watkins?
Yeah, I know. Obviously, we've got the Leeds bias, but you know the stats don't lie. Scored more goals, created more for a team, more. You know, basically, I think Southgate basically said on his press conference that he really likes Watkins, likes that he runs in behind, but he thinks he can link the play better. Your answer's there straight away. Bamford can link the play. That's what he does for us. I'll be honest, I think it's a little bit of snobbery. I think it's a little bit of Watkins as younger, probably sees him longer term in the England setup, and he's probably gone with him ahead of Patrick Bamford, which is unfair on him. But do you know what? In a funny kind of way as well, I'm not that bothered because it gives him 2 weeks rest before we play Sheffield United. And I said to my lad today when he scored, he could be well on track to be a 20 goal scorer in Premier League season with 6 games left. He's got 14 now, 9 games left, 6 goals in 9 games is not asking too much, I don't think, of him. So he'll do himself no harm. Do himself no harm at all.
Again, with Bamford, like the price tag that we've paid for him at the time in the Championship, it was sort of like, it's a bit one of them. Have we overspent? And there was times where he was so wasteful in the Championship. If you'd have told us a year and a half ago that he'd be on the amount of goals he is in the Premier League, we'd have probably all fucking laughed at you. As much as there was a lot of Leeds fans were behind Patrick Bamford because of more than goals, like because of what he provides off the ball.
Yeah.
To think the amount of goals he's scored in the Premier League so far it's nothing short of superb. Like,
I've got to admit, to be honest, I didn't see through all the loan spells he's had and whatnot. I didn't see it coming at all. I would have been the first to have said he ain't going to score more than 10 goals.
Yeah,
I just didn't see it in him. But he's there's something different about him, I think, this year. As in, obviously, it might just be the age thing, and it might just be him. It's clicked in his head. He needs to take this chance, and maybe he's comfortable in the team now, like in your Leeds team, and he's just producing week in, week out. And I do find it odd that he's not even been, considered, like, to even play in a friendly or anything so far. But
especially with the games that we've got, fucking San Marino.
Yeah, of course.
Give the guys a go, you know what I mean? Rest Harry Kane for these games.
Yeah, you could have even rested someone and just got him in. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. But let's get on to tonight's game anyway. Shane, from a Fulham point of view, mate, what's your thoughts?
It's just game after game. We haven't got the strikers. We're great at defending. We're great at holding the ball. But there's just no end product. And Mitrovic, unfortunately, I thought he was better than he is, but he just seems to be Championship level. And as much as I hate to say it, and then we're missing players like Kearney, and we've got 7 loan players, 6 loan players started tonight in a team that we're not a team. We're just it's hard to be a team. I'm lost for words, really.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask with Mitrovic, because it's a really strange one. Like in the Championship, he's the striker that everyone wanted. He was so lethal, and it's weird because I don't know if it's that he's not cut out for the Premier League, but he just doesn't look up for it. In the Championship, he's steaming into people. He's doing everything like to get a goal, and he seems so up for it, as if it's like, I'm going to prove to everyone I'm going to get back to the Premier League. But once he's there, it's almost like, fuck it, I can have a jolly now.
But then you can see it in the Championship. He's 14 stone running around in Patrick Bamford's like 11 stone. You're running around against defenders. You're not gonna be getting the ball. You've got to be quicker. And unfortunately, in the Championship, you can be big. You've got Akim Fenwar playing in the Championship. Mitrovic can run around at 14 stone if Akim Fenwar can run around bloody 16 odd stone. But it's just, I don't know. We're just not scoring goals. We're not putting the ball in the back of the net. And unfortunately, the other thing is, Lookman is a great player, but he doesn't deliver. He's got no final product, and he's so greedy.
It's a weird one with Lookman. Like, I see shadows of him with our team, with Tyler Roberts. Like Tyler Roberts is got ability. There's no doubt
He
about
was
it.
brilliant. He's brilliant, Tyler Roberts.
He
Brilliant.
played well again tonight, actually. There's a lot of Leeds fans who've got on his back, and I have been one of them as well at times. And it's key moments with Roberts, like last week against Chelsea. There was two times in 2 minutes where he got slid in, and it's just that first touch where he could have taken it in his stride and he was in, and he didn't have that. And Lookman tonight, that ball that got played across the face of goal, and he's missed the ball completely. If he gets anything on that, that's a goal.
Terrible.
It's crazy.
After tonight's game, I really pinned my hopes on tonight because there's Brighton versus Newcastle tomorrow, and unfortunately we don't need anyone to get a point. But what best case is going to have to be a draw for us, and they've still got a game in hand after that. So,
are you sort of resigned to that was your chance tonight, and you don't think there's enough time to make it now, or?
I want to hold out for the last game of the season because I really want, if anyone to go down, I want Newcastle to go. Well, other than Palace, I'd love Palace to go, but they're not going to happen. But I would love Newcastle to go, and we've got Newcastle last game of the season, and Newcastle's last 6 games, I think they're playing like something like the top 6.
They've got all the top boys to play. Yeah.
So, but it's hard because if we don't stay up, we're gonna lose 7 players straight away. And they're not going to come back.
We'll have Anguissa if you want.
Oh, I don't know. I'm up and down with him. He's just
I
like him. Lemina's a player.
Not for me.
I like him. Well, he got caught out for your second goal, didn't he?
Yeah.
Harrison Reed's a good player.
Yeah, I said to go before that I like Harrison Reed. You know, he's just very tidy. He's a proper. He's a better Harry Winks for me. Like Harry Winks tried to be tidy and that in there, but I just prefer Harrison Reed.
The one that gets me is Anderson, that centre back. I know honestly, he's a good player.
He's been immense since he's come in for you boys. To be fair,
but how what that says for Leon's team? Like, what are their 2 centre backs like? If he's getting loaned out and
don't know who they are.
Is he only on loan? Is he?
He's only on loan, yeah. But they've got, I think 4 of the 7 loans, you have to buy them at the end of the season if we stay up. So that's Lamina, Aina, Areola, and one other. But Lookman's not, Loftus-Cheek's not, and Anderson's not.
All right.
Got you.
So,
Gaz, over to you, mate. Who was your man of the match for tonight?
I think Calvin for me. He's, that position he plays is one of them that it can sometimes go and recognise what he did. But I thought in the times when Fulham did have the better patches of the game, when we became sloppy, he was the one that were breaking up a lot of their attacks. And I'm a big fan of Anguissa. I think he's a player. And when the game first started, it was very obvious that Scotty Park had targeted Calvin as an outball for us because Anguissa were literally like near enough touch tight to him in open play. And I think Calvin, and we saw it in the other game at Ellen Road as well, a similar thing. And eventually Calvin's mobility managed to move Anguissa around. But then every time Anguissa did get it, I think, it weren't great tonight, Anguissa, by his standard from what I've seen of him before. But I think a bit of that you can credit to Calvin Phillips. And he did a really good job of breaking up. And obviously he sets up the winner with that tackle, which it'll go unnoticed because obviously he lays it off to Paddy who threads it through, and then Rafina puts it on a postage stamp. But that's all created by Calvin reading game and strong at tackle, but not fouling. I just thought he were outstanding tonight, to be honest. He were everywhere where you wanted him to be as an older midfielder.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I wrote him down as my man of the match as well, and he's just so key to everything that we do. We've seen it when he's not in the team that we don't have that same ability to sort of break up play and get on the counter attack as quick as we do when he's in the side. He reads a game so well. It's frightening at times. Like, people will probably not even notice a lot of the time when he intercepts a ball and they probably think, oh, that's a shit pass. Sort of it's just gone straight to him. But that's all he's positioning. He reads a game so well, and he gets in the way all the time. And then before you know it, we're on the counter attack so many times, especially in that second half where we turned the counter straight away and Fulham were in deep shit. There was about 7 or 8 times in the last sort of 20 minutes that we've done it to him. And I think with his battle with Anguissa had more success in the game at Ellen Road.
Yeah,
there were periods of that game where he dominated in the midfield, to be honest with you. And Greg, you mentioned him earlier, Stewie Dallas.
Yeah.
I think his job today, it will go largely unnoticed, but he doubled up with Phillips a lot of the time, and they ran the midfield. I thought Stewie Dallas was fucking superb tonight.
I thought, I don't know about you, Shane. I thought Loftus-Cheek probably should have started today. I don't know what it is. I just think he's got something on the ball, and I think you needed to like play a little bit today, even though it's fighting fire with fire against Leeds, trying to play. But I thought that was probably your only way of doing it against him. I don't know what you feel.
I don't know why Loftus-Cheek's not starting. I really can't understand it. He's trying to play Cavallero. I don't think I really can't see the fascination with him at the minute. But it all comes down to that. I just don't think Madge is the player we thought we was getting. But Mitrovic goes back to, we just haven't got the shot. We're just never going to get these goals. Like, even if we do, it's hard to see. I can't see it. I'm lost for words really with this. After tonight's game, I really thought we was going to beat. I really thought we was going to beat Leeds going into that, but we just didn't want it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was with Fulham tonight, because you've been on a good run. Obviously, like with the win against Liverpool and Everton, and I think it just weren't a typical performance from you tonight. But then that may have been Leeds as well. But again, like what you said, Gal, I don't think it wasn't your best performance either. But no. I think you obviously just had that. You had enough.
Yeah, I think the thing that maybe made us different to Fulham was our press were incredibly aggressive, and we caught them out with it a few times early in the game, and ultimately it led to the winner. And I think, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not quite a perfectionist, but having watched Bielsa now for near enough 3 years, we can play a lot better than that. We're quite sloppy at times. Alioski, I mean, Tell listens to our podcast. I've never been an enormous fan of him because he's just like, he's one of them players that if you played with him, you'd just be on his case all the time because he just makes bad decisions in areas. You know, the one thing Fulham were going to get is today, especially when they brought Mitrovic on set pieces, and both Gianni and Tyler Roberts guilty of making ridiculous fouls in good areas for Fulham, and you just think that's where a bit of game management at that point, because Fulham's scrapping for their life, and I feel a little bit sorry for them because ultimately I think goals is going to be their demise. The fact that they just can't score. They're a little bit like Sheffield United to an extent. Sheffield United are down where they are, not because they're a terrible side. They just can't put the ball in the net. A lot of their games have lost have been by one goal or, the odd goal here and there. It's not like they're getting drubbed week in, week out. I just get a bit frustrated with players like him. And ultimately, we're a new Premier League side, and still bedding in kind of thing. And these are the areas that we need to target in the summer and continue to strengthen, and maybe look at a 7th, 8th, 9th type of position next year, and then look to go on from there. But I've seen us play better than that. I was a little bit frustrated at times because bad decision making in good areas, but much like all the Premier League, injuries have killed us this year in terms of getting any real sort of getting going. We're a settled side, to be fair. There's better players in it, if you like.
It's like you said with Alioski, Gaz. I've been listening to your podcast for a while, mate, and I know full well you're not a fan. It's probably no coincidence that they're letting his contract run down. It don't look like he's going to be offered one. I think it's a shame because he's sort of become a bit of a cult hero and a bit of a cult figure amongst Leeds fans. But I think more so for off the field than on, if you know what I mean. He's had great performances. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not digging him out all the time. I appreciate what he did in the Championship, but for me, he's a Championship player. Like the things he does in games, like giving free kicks away in dangerous areas, you don't get punished as much for that in the Championship. You absolutely get punished for that in the Premier League. Like the classic one for me, Alioski were the famous 5-4 against Birmingham last year. We're 4-3 up. He's in their half near their corner flag. Turns over possession. They run down the other end and score. And it's one of them where, you know, anybody, I played the shittest level of Sunday League. I know at that point, don't lose the ball there. Run it into the corner. Just keep hold of the ball. But for some reason, just had these Ed Gons moment. And do you know what? It'll go down in history. But if this club wants to move forward, it's not with players like Gianni Alioski for me. And it's just the state.
Well, they've been looking at that guy from Brest in France, haven't they? That Romain Perraud, who's, by all accounts, something a bit tasty. And I think we're going to be tapping into that French market again for a few players next season. And it's no sort of coincidence that these rumours are coming out about us looking at left backs, because we need that. You know what I mean? Alioski's not even a left back. He's a left midfield player. Yeah. He's just slotted in there. We've spent the last 2 seasons pretty much playing without a left back. Barry Douglas was our main left back, but he was injured all the time. We've been Alioski and Dallas sort of fitting there in and out for most of the time. So I think that'll make a big difference to our play, having someone in who's a top left back as well.
What's happened to the youngster, that Leif Davis?
It's a weird. I don't know how you feel with this, Gary. Like I've seen a fair bit of him. I watch a lot of the under-23s as well, and when he's played for them, he's looked good. And even when he's had his chances in the first team, he's looked quite a good player. But I read a bit into Calvin Phillips had an interview earlier in the season, and one of his answers about the squad was something about Leif Davis, and he said Leif Davis, if he can get his head screwed on, he could be one of the best players in the team. And that sort of screamed to me that his attitude might not be quite right.
What happened to Cody Dramer?
He's in the under-23s. He's right back. Fucking good player.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. We always seem to lose youngsters.
He'll be Luke Ayling's replacement when Luke Ayling's done, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. He's meant to be good.
How old is he?
I don't know how old he is. What is he, 19 or something?
19.
Yeah. If that, yeah.
I think he left Fulham on bad terms and all, by all accounts.
Most of them do. We've lost quite a few youngsters. We lost, didn't we? We lost Patrick Roberts, didn't we?
Yeah.
We lost Moussa Dembele.
Oh yeah.
And we lost Imchi. We lost Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me, yeah.
Stolen.
Scummy Gits took him off, yeah. Scummy Gits.
Yeah, they paid. How much was that? 7 million in the end, wasn't it? We got.
Yeah, about 8 million or something like that.
He looks a player, that Harvey Elliott and all.
Ain't bad for a 16-year-old kid though. At least you got, you know what I mean.
It'll be a steal in the end. You know what I mean. Once he reaches a bit of potential in that, he's going to be easily 25, 30 mil like in the next few years.
Well, he's already been tearing it up for Blackburn, and they're not a great side, to be fair, mate.
The system is wrong, really. When that sort of does happen, you're going to get pennies for what he's actually going to be worth. But it is what it is. It's the market, and that's what they go on.
What are you boys saying about your centre halves as well? Do you reckon that's your best partnership, or the big German cop comes back in? Yeah.
I'll let you answer first, guys.
It's a tricky one because everybody wants to see Llorente, Koch line up against each other, line up beside each other, but that'd leave 2 right-footed centre halves and Bielsa likes a left-footer and a right-footer. So as it stands at the moment, I think the best partnership we've got is the one that we've got now, and I think it was pretty telling that he brought Koch on in midfield again today, and he played there for the under-23s the other day. Yeah, it might be a case of that we end up next year where we've got, you know, and it pains me to say it because Liam Cooper's a club captain and has been a great servant for Leeds. But you know what? You know, age is not particularly on his side. The future of the centre-back partnership probably lies with Llorente, Koch and Struijk. And I think that it's a good thing that them 3 battle it out. But at the moment, I think Llorente and Struijk, it's their shirts to lose. I think they're both spot on, minus a bit of dodgy wayward passing. But we were all guilty of that tonight. But, you know, we played against Chelsea last week, who are frightening going forward, and both of them were solid. You know, and it's not all bad, is it, having a German international who can step in for Calvin Phillips at holding role or step in for either of the centre halves as well. So at the minute it's theirs, but you know, you need a bit of that in your team. You can't have people just knowing that they're going to get a shirt week in, week out. because that's when it leads to a bit of complacency. So I think at the minute, can't argue with them two keeping the shirts for me.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Gary. It's crazy, really, that we've gone from playing Luke Ayling at centre half and having no centre backs to now we're overloaded with them. It's like, fuck, who do we pick? But
the thing is as well, mate, you've got Calvin who can play there, you've got Luke Ayling who can play there, and you've got Charlie Creswell who's not far away from featuring sporadically in first team. He's an incredible talent. If he can make the step up, then there's no reason why we might be talking about him in that centre back partnership in the future. So yeah, for a change, the future's bright for us.
It is, mate. Yeah, I don't think it'd be long until Charlie makes the step up. I think next season, to be honest, he might even make a random change and bring him in towards the back end of the season if we ain't got anything to play for. But yeah, it's I think next season he'll probably make his debut anyway. But yeah, I'd go along with Llorente and Strike at the moment. They seem to play well together. They have a good understanding. There was a couple of moments today where they had a bit of a mix-up. There was one where Anguissa nipped in, where they sort of were both looking at each other and didn't know who was going to go for it. And then Meslier got us out of shit, as he's done so many times this season. And then there was another one where Madja, he should have gambled. And he hesitated at the same time that they did. They sort of looked at each other, didn't know who was going to go. And Madja sort of looked at him as well. Was like, if he had committed and gone for it, we could have been in trouble. But I think a lot of that is they haven't played a lot together. They've only had a handful of games together. Strike's barely played professional football. He only made his debut last season, and he probably made 2 or 3 appearances. And one of them, he cost us big time against Cardiff. If you'd have told me a year ago that I'd be saying he's keeping out a German international in the Leeds team at centre half, I'd have fucking fell off my chair. I wouldn't have believed that at all. But yeah, I think it's looking quite good for us in the future defensively wise. The other thing, actually, Gary, is I was thinking is, do you think Bielsa might go to the 3-3-1-3 formation at some point? Because that's sort of been historically his favoured formation throughout his career. I know he sort of changed it a bit at Leeds because of personnel, but do you think he might lean back at that, considering the strength we'll have at centre back?
Barca,
yeah, when he's at Barca. To be honest, I'm not sure, because we've played 4-1-4-1 now for 3 years pretty much, and it feels to me like we buy players to fit into that system. But I know when we interviewed Adam Forshaw a bit ago for Talking Shutt, we're chatting to him about it, and he was saying that the players are encouraged to change the tactics on the field as to what they're seeing from the opposition. So the more flexibility built into his team, the more players who can play different positions, and the more players who can slot in and out, it allows it to do that. And I think, like you mentioned earlier about Strike and Llorente getting sort of mixed up at times, I think that might be the fact that we do go so stringently man-to-man, but we don't go man-to-man as in, he turns around and says, I'm taking Anguissa, and he says, I'm taking Mitrovic. They go on the player who's playing the position, running through the phases of play. So sometimes I'm sure they can, and we saw it again last week. Havertz, Phillips failed to track his run and he got shot off when he blazed up at bar. And again, that comes down to that thing of he's not sure if he's meant to be picking that runner up or not.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we can look like we're really like 6s and 7s at back, and when we do, sometimes I still scratch my head at times thinking, what are we doing? But I think a lot of it is the way that Bielsa sets his teams up and the way that he wants them to defend on the front foot. But I'll be honest, I've watched a hell of a lot of Leeds under Bielsa and become a little bit obsessed. And I'll be fucked if I know what he's doing, because I've sat on the gantry at Ellen Road and scratched my head as Alioski makes a 45-yard run across the diagonal of the pitch. And I'm thinking, fucking no idea what he's doing there. But it's obviously to create a reaction out of someone. So do you know what? Yeah, I think we probably will see the 3-1-3-1 at some point, or we've even we've seen us play 3, essentially a 5 at back at times. In fact, we even saw Jack Harrison once just play at left hand side on his own.
Yeah, he's the whole left. Yeah.
You just play over there, and we'll just do this bit over here. And yeah, I don't know, mate. I've gone from second guessing him now. I have a guess at what they're doing, but yeah, the summer transfer window will be interesting. I think it'll tell us a bit more about what he intends to do or what he intends to employ going forward.
Do you think we'll bring many in?
I think 4, maybe 5, depending on what happens with Kiko Casilla. I think it's been much talked about anyway with sort of Phil from the Athletic and people like that. For me, two midfielders, a left back, and another striker to push Bamford, but a striker who can press like Bamford can press. Because we saw it at Chelsea, we saw it again today. As soon as you take Bamford off our press, it vanishes pretty much because Robertson ain't quite got the legs to get around like he does. Rodrigo, it's not really his game, and he's just coming back from fitness. And it's asking a lot of your wide players to press on behalf of the striker as well. So I'd like to see another player, a la Paddy, who can press. But you never know. I wouldn't be surprised with Bielsa if he brings some under 18 through who've never heard of before who can press and suddenly turns him into a player because that's just what he does, isn't it?
He'll probably turn a fucking centre half or something from the under 16s into a centre forward for us, and we'd be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah, probably
Convert Kiko into a striker. Shane, so I don't know, who have you got coming up your next sort of few games, Fulham, and how hopeful are you of getting anything out of the games?
We've got Wolves next.
Oh, what a boring team they are. Please beat them. Honestly,
that should be points for you, mate. If you're not going to stay up, you need to beat them.
Yeah, but it's just you just never know, do you? Are we going to get the goals? Are we not? But Wolves are so hit or miss this season. You just don't know with Wolves. That last season they were brilliant, but this season they just.
They're missing goals as well, obviously, with Jimenez being out.
Yeah.
No, we've got Villa. No, it's Villa next. Villa.
Yeah, just had a look. It's Villa and then Wolves, and then you've got Arsenal Villa and Chelsea.
See, Villa's a massive game. That's a big game for us.
Well, you've got English striker coming up against you there. I mean, you should be shitting yourself.
Fuck off.
Who? What? Watkins? See, what's the matter with Ings?
His kneecaps on backwards again. Yeah, his kneecaps on backwards again. His kneecaps.
he got a hammy, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, groin. Yeah.
I was going to say
Dominic Calvert-Lewin for me is the one that I'm a bit worried about. That back to that shit quickly. Like he's done fuck all since the beginning of the season.
Bamford's better than him and all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I did, but yeah, back to all that old drop Kane. You could have dropped Kane easy because with Kane, you know what he's going to do. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think that just because he started off well, that's getting him by at the moment because apart from the goal against us in the fucking 90 fucking 9th minute, however long they wanted to add on for it.
The goal the other day for him was the first in quite a while, wasn't it?
It was his first goal in about 7 or 8 games, I think. He ain't scored many recently. He started like house on fire, but since then he's petered away. But
yeah, he's dropped Trent because he's saying Trent's playing shit. Well, how's Dyer in there then?
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on here? You're telling me you're...
Well, Michael Keane's agent pipe up.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
I mean, it's that mental, the fact that fucking Dyer's in there. Michael Keane.
Is Keane not in the squad? No. I've not even fully seen.
Mate, I'd rather have fucking Tarkowski in there than fucking Eric Dyer.
Yeah.
Joking.
Dyer's awful.
Yeah, he is, yeah. Terrible.
It's like a fucking sloth, isn't he? He just sort of slows everything down, and he's.
Oh, but he talks Portuguese, and he's trilingual and things like that. So we're putting him in.
Best thing he ever done was jump in the crowd, mate. That's the best thing I've ever seen him do in his whole career.
Penalty against Colombia, the winning penalty there was scenes, mate. I'm not going to lie to you. When he in the World Cup, when he put that penalty in,
we would have won that.
I'm crying.
That's like as near as you get to a football match as well, Kyle, isn't it? Watching it on telly, so that was like proper scenes for you.
A big screen in a pub. That's about as close as I get. Yeah.
Typical man.
Can smell the pies in the kitchen.
Like you were saying, actually, Gary, about like second guessing Bielsa and what he's going to do. That's one thing we're missing out on by not going to games at the moment is the off the ball movement of our team. And you often see a lot of the sort of the press and the journalists that are still getting access and going to the games raving about us. And you're getting neutral fans sort of going, what the fuck are they going mad about Leeds for? I think it gives you a completely different point of view when you watch them live because it's it's a nightmare watching it. To be fair, you sort of watch it in disbelief. There's players all over the place, and they don't stop. Like what was his name? John Joe Shelby the other week. Did you see his interview talking about Rodrigo?
Yeah. To be fair, I'd be fucking fuming if I were a Newcastle fan that listened to that lazy bastard to that.
It is true, yeah.
Yeah.
You see why he's not putting the fucking shift.
What did he say?
He basically said when playing against Leeds, Rodrigo was just fucking running around everywhere. And he said he turned around to him and was like, mate, can you stop fucking making these pointless runs? Like, because I've got to track you. Do you know what I mean? Like, give it a rest. And he said playing against them was a nightmare because they're just constantly running. But like Gary said, from a Newcastle point of view, that you'd be like, fucking hell, mate, we're in a relegation battle here. And you're moaning about chasing
30 foot, you're probably on 30 plus grand a week. Easy. Fucking follow that prick. Fucking follow him.
Yeah, but he thinks he's. I liked him at
Lord
Liverpool.
Voldemort.
I liked him at Liverpool, but he was obviously being dragged along by the team because he thinks he's better than what he is. And when he's in a fight now, he don't want to know. So
they're the only team that I can see if anyone goes, it's going to be them. Because Burnley are too. I just can't see Burnley going down.
No.
Burnley are too shrewd.
Brighton, they're playing good football, but they're just not scoring. But they seem to find a way. But I just think if it's anyone, it's going to be Fulham or Newcastle. If anyone, it's going to be one of the two.
I think it's a 2-horse race between you two now. I think a lot of it rides on tomorrow. If Newcastle don't get anything out of the Brighton game, I think they're gone because of their fixtures that they've got coming after that. I've got them up here. After the Brighton game, they've got Tottenham, Burnley, West Ham, Liverpool, Arsenal, Leicester, Man City. And then the last two, they've got Sheffield United and Fulham. So going into, I can't see him picking up any points until the last two games. And then it could be...
Next, that could be points.
What's that?
What's around it?
That could be points.
Tottenham, yeah. easy win that. But, they're the ones to chase for you boys.
At least we got 3 points against Liverpool, though. That's all right.
Hey, we want you to stay in the league, mate.
Yeah, all right.
Get that screen down, Greg. Get that screen down.
You lot got
self. I don't know what's going on with it.
It's terrible. You lot are the weakest team in the Champions League, aren't you?
They'll probably fucking win it.
We're in it, though. We're in it.
Not for long.
I fancy him to beat Madrid, to be fair. I think they're both, not very great teams at the moment. I can see Liverpool doing that now just because they're so shit.
The thing that worries me about that draw actually today is Chelsea. They've got a nice little possible run to the final there. They've got Porto and then the winners of Liverpool and Real Madrid that are a shadow of the teams that they were a year or two ago. And they don't lose under this fucking Tuchel, you know what I mean? So if they get to the final and it's a one-off game, I can't deal with them winning another Champions League, mate. I'm interested to see what their reaction can be when they do it, if they do dip in form. Like what Tuchel. I mean, they've been quite lucky, haven't they? He's played obviously some big teams. I think they're the 3-0 win over Atletico's. Atletico are a top side. They've got some top players. But I just think once they go in that little dip of form, I'll be interested to see how quick they can turn it around and how quick they can come out of it. To be fair, but I don't think they've fully been tested yet. Chelsea. They should never got rid of Frank, though, should they?
No. Chelsea, that's enough of Chelsea.
Yeah, fuck them. I was so pleased. I was one of them when they got rid of him. Actually, I was so happy that he got sacked, but at the same time, I was like, oh fuck, they might get good now. Because they've got good players. It's like, please don't get a good manager in.
I was going to say, Shane, do you see Scott Parker staying for quite a while? Even if you do go, he will stay, won't he? And he'll take you back up.
I want him to, but we've got this whole. Have you seen the whole stuff in the background with Tony Khan and all on Twitter, and he posts up stuff and gets very involved, and everything's done. The signings are done on stats, and he does a lot of the signings behind the scenes. This Tony Khan, which is the owner's son, he's director of football or whatever, and I just can't see. Scott Parker's fallen out of him a couple of times this season, and I just don't know what's going to happen next season, because we're going to lose a lot of players, and it just depends on what's going to happen. I didn't want to. I wish we had Jukanovic still, but
really, what over Parker? I think I
really liked Jukanovic, but I don't know what happened there. It all went a bit pear shaped, and
you played some fantastic football under him in the Championship and all. One of the best teams I've seen in the Championship, actually, under Jukanovic. Over
23 games unbeaten until the playoffs, and then we beat Villa in the playoffs. That was nice.
I think you're playing top. I like the way you're playing football now. I think for a long time now you've played really well, but the problem is, it sounds quite silly, but I think over the course of a season, it ain't the losses that are going to get you relegated. It's your draws.
Last week, they said a stat. We've drawn 10 of our last 15 games.
Jesus Christ.
But you think the difference, just another goal, a bit of luck in that game, like you say, with a finisher, if you had someone clinical, someone that can score you an extra goal in them games, you're picking up an extra 10, possibly even at 3 games, 3-4 games, you're going to get extra points, and you're miles away from where you are. So that's what I'm saying. I think over the course, I think even the same with the teams at the top, like United, of our support, obviously.
What, Leeds United?
No, the real United. I've told you this before.
West Ham United.
We what's killed us before in the past is just these draws. We have like 9 or 10 draws, and that's what keeps us. That was makes us struggle.
It's not about
for
you, mate. No
one
one cares about fucking Man United. What's wrong with you?
I'm just saying we're in a similar sort of boat, just at the opposite end of the table.
With Fulham, actually. Now we beat you today. You've only lost the exact same amount of games that we've lost this season. It just goes to show, like Kyle was saying, with draws, draws are a waste of time in this division, especially in teams that are newly promoted. It's all about wins. That's why what Bielsa's doing is refreshing, because we're throwing fucking everything to get the 3 points in every game we play, no matter who we play. Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, it doesn't matter. We're going to go for the 3 points. If it don't come off and we nick a draw, it's like fair play. Like Man City, we drew with them earlier on in the season. One of the best games I've seen actually all season. That was a phenomenal match. But it doesn't really. It's all about the 3 points. If we win one game and then we lose our next 2, we're in the same boat as if we've fucking drawn 3. You know what I mean? So you're better off just going for the victories. And I think that's where the likes of Fulham and Sheffield United have faltered this year. They've been too safe. They've been too scared to sort of commit too much, and they've ended up being victim of that and only getting the odd point. And then
they are still suffering with not a striker. That is the thing.
Yeah. The other thing is a leader. It's a leader. It's having someone like a Calvin Phillips or someone that can pick up the tip, like a Jack Grealish. They can pick up the team and say, right, let's do this. But there's no one in that Fulham team that's going to. I can't see anyone getting over 10 goals. Bobby Cordova-Reid's our top goal scorer in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Gary, I don't know what you sort of think from our point of view, someone like Scott Parker, because me looking at Fulham last season, from their squad that they had, they should have been battling us for the title, is what I thought. I thought Scott Parker was very fortunate to get them promoted. I think that they'd be better off with somebody else in charge, to be totally honest with you. I'd get more out of their team. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, mate, to be fair. I think as a Fulham fan, really, they should have been battling us, like you say, at the top of the league last year. A team with the vast amount of riches that it got, that have been together for quite a period of time as well, shouldn't really have been winning by the playoff final for me. I don't know with Scott Parker. It's one of them where, he's an English manager, and I kind of want him to do well, because I want English managers to do well. But a few times, I think last season, he mentioned that he got Bielsa's number. It was very structured the way that we play. But
so it was easy to read, didn't he?
Yeah, but Bielsa's quite open. He'll tell you how he's going to play. Plan B is plan A better. He says that over and over again. And I think watching analysis of our team players and then playing them is two different things altogether. But back to Scott Parker, I don't know. I mean, it's a really tricky one. I want him to do well. I don't really have an axe to grind with Fulham. I'd love Brighton to just disappear out of our entire existence. Never mind out of the league, just vanish entirely. But yeah, like you said, Fulham under Jukanovic Championship, apart from Wolves, are probably the best two Championship sides I think I've ever seen. The way that they played on the front foot, they were so dynamic and attacking, and they had great players in the side. But I don't know. It feels like a bit like a poison chalice, like Shane said, that he's working with a director of football who maybe he don't get on with. Kind of feels a little bit like the writing's on the wall for him. A little bit feels like they'll put a foreign yes man in there and relieve him of his duties once he's once they're mathematical.
Oh, another Ranieri.
Yeah, it'd be Ranieri probably.
Or Felix Magath.
Felix.
Yeah,
I was going to
say.
So yeah, it's a strange one with Scott Parker. Yeah, I don't know.
The other thing, actually, I wanted to come to you, Shane, about is the left back position. Like,
I don't get it. I know exactly what you're going to say, because, mind you, we were saying about the playoffs, it couldn't have worked out. Our season couldn't have panned out any better for us. I loved finishing the playoffs and beating Brentford 2-1. It couldn't have worked any better. And those goals that we scored as well, Joe Bryan. But yeah, Joe Bryan, as soon as we come up to the Premier League, didn't get a game, doesn't get a game at all.
It's really strange. But
yeah, he's a Wigan left back.
Yeah, and I know Anthony Robinson
he's
was
all right.
quite highly regarded, and I think AC Milan or Inter Milan were trying to sign him, but he's not for me. I don't see what all the fuss is about.
All he does is run with the ball. I don't think he's actually got an idea. His idea is to just run to the byline.
He's like a dog. He's just like a dog with a ball.
That's all I see. Yeah, that's all I see is that he picks up the ball and he drives and he's direct. That's brilliant. But what do you do with it? His actual end quality ain't great.
Well, his end quality was fucking headbutting the hoardings earlier.
That was amazing.
He carried on until he fucking hit the thing. It's like,
I was hoping he was injured so we could get a sub on.
It's a really weird one.
I'm not having him.
But then we play Aina left back, or we play. Oh, it just doesn't make sense.
Gary, would you have Joe Bryan at Leeds?
We fancied him, didn't we? I think we fancied him when he were at Bristol, and there were a little bit of talk as well if Fulham didn't go up that we'd be into him. But I don't know. Like, this sounds really knobbish, and I don't want it to sound the way that it's going to sound, but. I kind of feel like we want him to go beyond Joe Bryan, if that makes sense. Like,
do you know what? I totally agree. I think you've outgrown Joe Bryan. He's not even a discussion for you. With all due respect to everyone involved, like
he's not even getting the Fulham team. Then he ain't.
He's not getting our team. So why would you want to?
Not good enough. He's not good enough.
He's not. He's too heavy as well. He's not.
Fucking hell, Bielsa would kill him. He'd be sat in shed wrapped in cling film eating Mars bars. Get off at full Monty.
Go and get Andy Robertson from Liverpool. He might be available next season.
Yeah, he can come and sit on our bench. How much did you feel for Luke Ayling earlier, Gal, when he
the goal?
He got the fucking air out again, and I'm fucking going mental, thinking, get in there, Bill. He's got the air out. He's pulling the old guitar out.
You can't celebrate anymore.
Oh,
you'd feel like such a muppet, wouldn't you?
Big time.
He might as well just left his hair up until VAR got involved.
Yeah, VAR's another podcast in itself.
Oh, mate.
I mean, to be fair, I was pretty angry, and I've looked back at it again, and do you know what? Argument is that Tyler Roberts is offside. That's not my problem. My problem is the application of the system. The fucking lines are different every time. The thickness are different every time. On that one review back, it's run from Tyler Roberts' hand to the defender's leg, but yet his arm's in front of his leg. So like, it's just wank. It's just wank.
It's a joke.
It's just wank across the board. I mean, Brighton the other day, the Brighton dunk quick free kick he scored. Fuck me. But honestly, I was sat laughing. I was actually like, my son came in and went, "What are you laughing at?" I went, "Just look at this debacle here." My son's 11 and he was like, what's going on? And I was like, I have no idea.
Lee Mason.
Lee Mason, wow.
You just can't even defend them, can you? It's like you said, like when they drew the first line, was it Anderson they drew it on, the Fulham defender?
Yeah.
And they drew it to the leg. I was like, oh, are they doing it from the planted foot? Or, so I was like, in that case, because Tyler was just leant forward and I thought it was only his upper body that's offside. So when they drew that first line, I was like, maybe this is going to be onside. And then they fucking pull it back and then marking it to Tyler's hand. And it's like, eh? Like, if
you can't score from your hand. Last time I played the game, you can't score with your hand, I don't think.
Not unless your name's Diego Armando Maradona. It's the only way.
Well, I've got a shirt on. So you can nowadays.
You wear that on a Sunday, mate, and give it the old.
Yeah, mate, I fucking long since hung them up. I couldn't play right well, but I could put them on, so fucking long done with that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a podcast in itself. It's just a debacle, and it's killing the game. I mean, can you imagine inside Ellen Road if next year there's 40,000 fans in there and it goes against us, and it's literally like, I mean, I've been at Ellen Road, you will have been, any other football ground around where you're in line with the linesman and he flags and it's not fucking offside.
Yeah,
and you feel that you want to kill him, and imagine that when we've scored it last minute or whatever. There'll be bloodshed. There'll be bloodshed at Ellen Road.
It was a good goal.
It was a great header.
Yeah,
absolutely superb header.
For me, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, listen, in football, the biggest buzz you can get is obviously when you score a goal. That buzz is just unreal, isn't it? The fact that that's the worst thing for VAR for me. Neither would I, to be fair. But at one time back in 2004 was fantastic.
Someone kicked it off your arse and it went in. That don't count.
I just think that's the thing for me. You just can't celebrate a goal no more until 5 minutes after it. Again, when it goes to them, like, I'm just waiting for it. Well, VAR are checking this, and they're going to roll back 30, 45 seconds to see if it's hit someone's arm, if there was a foul. That's the biggest thing, the critic for me with VAR. It's just spoiling the fucking buzz. And again, there's no, like you said, Gail, there's no fans at the moment. But when you're in that stadium and you're cheering, you've got fucking everyone's going mental, and then all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, that you know what I mean? It's all fucking shit for something silly as well.
When VAR, when it goes to a goal, like when there's a goal scored and it goes to VAR, the attacking team that's just scored, they pretty much go back to their half and get into position, hoping that it's a goal, and then they ain't even got time to celebrate anyway, because once it's given, they're kicking off again,
and they just go, don't they?
So they're not even celebrating. So the actual love of scoring a goal, that feeling. I mean, I don't know, Carl wouldn't know, but of scoring a goal, it's unreal. You know what I mean?
Like,
and it's just, it's not football. It's not, and it's.
Even when a goal goes in now, every team's calling for VAR. Even every goal that goes in, everyone wants it to be checked. Even when you scored, I was going, check VAR. Even though I didn't know there was anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Even from conceding a goal now, like when we used to concede a goal, my heart would sink and I'd want to cry my eyes out. Now I'm not that down. I'm sort of like, they're going to check this. Like, there's got to be something. It's really weird feeling.
They always check it as well, no matter what happens. I can't remember the last goal that was been given when there's not been a VAR check. There's always something that they're looking forward. It's just. It's just a nightmare.
Where was that one with Dortmund the other week? Do you remember with the Haaland penalty?
Yeah.
And he scored a goal and they're checking like a penalty decision about fucking 10 minutes earlier. And it's like, what's happened here? It's so confusing. Have any of you boys been in the crowd when VAR has been used? Because I have, but like abroad. I went to a game in Italy. It was Inter Milan versus Chievo Verona. And there was a decision in the game where there was sort of a bit of a goalmouth scramble. And all of a sudden, the ball's in the net and everyone's cheering it's a goal. And you don't hear a thing. It's sort of like there's a bit of a congregation on the pitch. I think there was one screen in the stadium, but from where we couldn't even see it. And for about 5 minutes, nothing's happening. Everyone in the crowd's oblivious. And the next minute, like, it's a free kick the other way and there's no goal. And it's horrible when I think it's sort of VAR is better for TV audiences. And that's probably why they try and dramatise it and make it more of a sort of a TV spectacle, because it's more for the fan at home nowadays than people in the stadium. But it's horrible for when you're in the ground and a VAR decision's happening. Like, you're just completely in the dark. It's ridiculous.
But doesn't it? It doesn't work. So the FA Cup games, if it's at a Premier League team, you've got VAR. But if you're at a Championship side, you haven't got VAR.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Not fair.
So you can go to Man City, or you can be at home and not have. It just doesn't make sense. It's got to be used in all
everywhere.
I won't worry too much though, Shane, because next year you won't have it. So
no. I'm buzzing for that. We might win it now. You lot not in it.
Now I've said that, we'll go down, Gal. We won't win another game all season.
To be fair, we were not the team that should have gone up. Brentford should have been the team that went up, not us.
Legit. If we were to go down this year and I didn't get to see Leeds play, I'd fucking sack it off. Podcast done. Fucking football done. Just done. Finished. Tattoo lasered off, done. Never fucking play football ever again. Never. Football's done for me if I don't get to see Leeds in Premier League again.
It would have been the most Leeds thing ever as well, to get promotion. Yeah. After 16 years we've been waiting to go up. There'd be a fucking worldwide pandemic where no cunt can go to a game. And then we get relegated and we're back to square one.
What do you think we'll feel, mate? 30 odd years and then no cunts in the ground to watch us lift the
Yeah,
that's funny though.
And now you're worse than when you fucking began.
Mate, it would. Do you know what? If they had cancelled it, that would have been. At least we got to fucking actually do it, like carry on and win it. If they had cancelled it, oh my god.
Well, we had the same thoughts at the time. It was sort of like, please don't pull the plug on this.
I know.
It was because there was rumours at the time, wasn't it? It was like, oh, well, we'll just scrap it and start again.
Every cunt was got, scrap it.
Yeah, all the teams that were in mid-table were like, yeah, let's just start again.
Yeah,
mate, I nearly came to blows with a lad at work about it. Me,
really?
A Sheffield United fans like, yeah, I should just fucking sack it, because obviously they were safe. I was like, you need to shoot your fucking kite. We're not sacking it. Do you know what we've been through? I went to fucking Deportivo home. I fell asleep, woke up, and some cunt were walking a bull rat pitch at Hereford. I said, you think we're fucking missing out on this opportunity to go back to the Premier League because you fuckers just want to stay up? You can get them fucked. Anyway, we agreed to disagree. Yeah.
What do you think actually this season, Gag? Because you're Barnsley boy, yeah, from around there.
Yeah, not sort of North Barnsley. Yeah, which
they might. I reckon they could have a go, this year.
Mate, I was saying to lads on Talking Shutt other day, like, if Leeds play like tonight or whenever, I'll try and find a perfectly legal Barnsley stream the day after to watch them play, because Ishmael Valerian's got them playing some great football. Young side, fearless, have a go, exciting to watch, make the odd mistake, proper swashbuckling stuff. And they're taking Championship by storm. They're scaring people to death. I mean, Norwich are running away with it, and I watched them knock them out at Cup earlier on its season, and Norwich didn't get a kick. Barnsley were by far the better side. And do you know something? I'd love them to go up, because I'd love Barnsley Leeds to be a Premier League game. But do you know what? It'd be great for Town as well. To have a Premier League side back in it.
It's been a while now, hasn't it?
I think 98, maybe 97, 98 was the last time they were in the Premier League.
Oh, Redfern, I remember him.
Legend,
Redders. Redders, yeah. So yeah, it'd be good to see him go back up. I mean, obviously, being a Barnsley lad, born and bred kind of thing. I'd like to see him do okay, just not at the expense of Leeds. That's what I've always said. Like, so yeah, it'd be nice to see him go up, and they play the right way as well. So
they got one of your old boys. Is Mowat at them?
Alex Mowat.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, we're a feeder club to them. They've got a few of ours. They've got Clark Adore, that kid who looked like a baddie off Star Wars.
Apo Halme.
Yeah, Apo Halme, that dude. Mowat, yeah, they've got a few down there, to be fair.
What happened with him? Why did he leave Leeds? I thought he was touted as a
slow, mate.
Who's that? Mowat, sorry.
Yeah, I thought he was touted as a bit of a star.
Towing a tractor, mate, and he was there at the time of Chileno, where like he was offering him a new 3-year contract on like 20 pence less than what they were on previously. And then just wrong time for him, but he wouldn't survive in a Bielsa side because, like I say, towing a tractor, technically very good, but other than that, not so good.
Yeah, he's got all the ability. Like his left foot is fucking magnificent.
Yeah,
he can score a goal from anywhere in their half. Like his left foot is beautiful, but he's just so slow. He was so frustrating to watch.
They still got Corley Woodrow.
They do, yeah.
He's
one of our old boys, isn't he? I don't know. We got rid of him as well.
You could do with him now.
He's not playing at the minute. They've just got a lad from Orlando City on loan. A lad called Dyke, and he's scoring for fun at the moment. So Woodrow's stuck on bench for the time being.
Well, they played us off the park at the back end of last season as well, Gal, didn't they?
That was awful. That was the worst 90 minutes of football I've ever watched.
They beat us twice.
4 minutes. Oh, it was horrendous. I did that thing of like, with 4 minutes left, I went to the toilet, and I never do that. I was like, I'll go to the toilet, that'll eat at least 3 minutes up of that. So I'll go for a piss, come back. Yeah, it was horrendous. Because between that and the Swansea game, we're pretty much what got us promoted. So,
100%.
Yeah, we're brutal.
I was sweating buckets in that game. I came out after that game. I think I actually had a nap because it felt like I'd fucking played 90 minutes. It was horrible. They were a good side, Barnsley. I'd love them.
Yeah.
Pinch promotion. But yeah, sort of from again back to tonight's game, Shane. Was there anyone Fulham wise that sort of stood out for you that was your sort of best player tonight? No.
The silence. God.
Not overly. I think our defence and our goalkeeper, since obviously they've come in, what did we ship? 14 goals in our first 6 games, and then since then we've only let 19 in 19 or something. But I think our best player has been Anderson and Tosin. But yeah, Harrison Reed stands out. But yeah, there's no one that just one really
taking it by the scruff of the neck, like what you said.
Yeah, there's nothing really to write home about at the minute. But hopefully, we've got another chance at Villa. But they're the 2 games now. Villa and Wolves. They're really the 2 games. If we lose them 2, then it's curtains, isn't it?
We've got to come out of that with at least 3 points out of them. 3 or 4 points.
Beat Villa.
Yeah. You've got to get at least a win, I think, out of them 2 games. But
Grealish is back though, isn't he?
Oh, fuck him, innit? He's shit, mate. All he does is throw himself on the deck.
Yeah, but he'll be short of sharpness, so hopefully you'll try and utilise that.
He'll get 20 free kicks in the game, though, and then they'll go on about how great of a player he is because he's earned so many free kicks.
He is a good player, to be fair.
Yeah, I like him. I like tailways him.
Pull your socks up. And
I just can't see how they're going to play them all in the England team. You got Foden, Grealish.
He'll play them all at centre half, wouldn't he? Like he has been. Fucking.
Hey,
he'll play 5 centre backs. He'll play Rice, Phillips, and then another fucking defence, Dyer, all in the 3 in midfield.
And Henderson.
Play Kane up front.
With the squad that he's just picked, it wouldn't surprise me if a couple of if we was to all pick a couple of certs now, guaranteed there's a couple of certs that he ain't taking. He's that. I don't know what it is with him. We've got the players there, but you watch someone you think is dead cert will be staying behind.
Who plays holding midfield? Go on, Greg. Is it Henderson, or is it Rice, or is it Phillips? For me, it's Rice.
For me, it's Rice. It's Pilau for me. Yeah, it is Pilau.
Just one, or are we playing a 2 in hold?
No, you can't play 2. Not with Kane, Sancho, Sterling, Foden, Grealish. You've got all these players. I don't think we can play 2 holding midfield.
He will though. He will. I guarantee he starts with Henderson and Rice in that middle.
Oh, Dyer probably. Dyer
a bit centre half or something.
I can't remember who it was. I heard someone say today that we, as England, we should play 3 at the back.
No.
With
Walker.
With who we've got. No. Like, with who we've got, attacking wise, we should play 3 at the back. And maybe have
with what? Saka?
Well,
wing back.
Luke Shaw.
Fuck off, fat wanker. He ain't getting in the team.
He's the
It's
best.
the most chances created in the Premier League, isn't it?
Luke Shaw's the best left back in this country this season by a country mile.
Have you heard of Stuart Dallas?
Shame he's Northern Irish.
No, he's actually from Yorkshire, according to BT Sport. So he should be in the team. Personally, I would obviously pick Calvin Phillips, but I think he's the greatest player in the world since ever. But if they're gonna play two, I'd rather Phillips not be in there because when they played him alongside Rice, it just defeats the object of having Calvin in there. It's a fucking waste of time.
Because you still got to check your shoulders to see where he is, and you're not where you want to be.
I'm picking Phillips over Henderson. Greg, no, I hate Henderson. I think Henderson is shit. I think he's very boxed out. I
agree. I'm on that.
Very 4-4-2. He's just an average player. He's just lucky to play on a good Liverpool team. I'll tell you what,
we're missing him. How good he is.
Of the player that Gerrard is. Player.
Well, Gerrard's a one-off, though, isn't he? Let's be fair.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Henderson is the new Gerrard for them. He's
around him.
He's fought in to replace him. But Henderson's shit for me. Henderson's just like Fred.
Oh.
He just doesn't tackle, doesn't score goals, he doesn't do nothing, he just runs around. He's just a runner. He just do bits. Nah, fuck Henderson off.
He's another Joe Allen.
Joe Allen, yeah.
I think he's a bit like what you boys were saying before with Calvin Phillips and that. I think I used to hate him, don't get me wrong. When we first signed Jordan Henderson, and for a good few number of years, I was not a fan. I thought this kid is not good. Why have we bought him? But he's grown up now, and he's a man, and he's a driver. He drives our team, mate. And I think a lot of what he does probably goes unnoticed, just in getting the ball and making us go forward. The drive of the team.
He should play for Derby. They need a good driver.
Not necessarily. I'm not necessarily putting him in the England team, but I don't think he's shitting it like what you're saying. I
know where you're coming from. We're going off on a tangent here anyway, boys. So before we sort of close the live stream down, I just want to sort of get predictions from you boys on finishing positions of both clubs for tonight. We'll go around everyone first. Do we think Fulham stay up or do they go down? We'll start with you, Shane.
Yeah.
And if you think they're staying up, who goes?
I honestly, hand on my heart, it's only today because we've lost today. I think I'm a bit downbeat about it. But you ask me tomorrow, I'm going to tell you we're staying up. We will stay up, and Newcastle are going. But I genuinely believe we can do it. Yeah, I think Newcastle are going. That's me.
I like it. Gal?
Yeah, I agree with Shane. Actually, I think Fulham will stay up, and I think Newcastle will go. Just because that club's a complete bomb scare. If they lose Maxim again and Callum Wilson, they're fucked.
Kyle?
So what was the question?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I was doing
Will
some
Fulham
homework.
stay up or go down? And if you think they stay, who goes?
Yeah, no, 100%. Fulham stay. They stay up. If you think you've got no firepower, don't worry. Newcastle will on fucking Joe Linton. So, yeah, Newcastle go. Fulham stay.
It's a complete waste of space.
Greg?
I think Leeds are going to lose every game from now on and go down, mate, to be honest.
I want to know how big that bag of crisps is, Carl.
Oh, fuck me. Knowing him is a fucking bin sack.
I've been eating them the whole time.
Double crunch.
That's his third packet, Shane.
What it is, he's got a hole in the bottom and it goes down to another pack. No, I think the team that goes down are going to be white and black.
Funny that.
Newcastle going down, mate. Fulham will stay.
This is unanimous, boys. I agree. I think Fulham have enough. I think they stay up. I think the Geordies go.
Yeah.
And they're being big shit when they do as well, I think.
That'd be brilliant to see Steve Bruce relegate Newcastle, wouldn't it? Sunderland would be loving life, wouldn't they?
Could be a League One job, mate. I'm telling you.
Oh, mate, they will be so glad. If they go down and come out of lockdown, Sunderland's going to be going off, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah, it will. It will be mental, won't it? And then in regards to Leeds, Gal, we'll do it the other way. Do we nick a top 10?
No.
Where do you reckon?
No. I said 13th at the very start of the season, and I'll stick by that. 13th, I reckon.
Fair point, mate. At the start, I was quite hopeful. I went a bit cocky. I went 9th at the start of the season, and I'm gonna say we'll pinch 10th. I think we'll get top half, and I actually think Villa will slip into the bottom half. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 10th. Greg, what do you reckon?
Where are you now?
We are 11th. We are 2 points behind Villa and 2 points behind Arsenal.
And Villa have got a few games, haven't they?
Villa got 2 games in hand. Arsenal have got 1.
I don't think Villa. Yeah, I think Villa will fall off. I reckon 10th, 11th, 10th. I'll go for 10th.
Top half. Kyle?
Optimistic.
I'm going to say 11th. I think we'll stay where you are. You're better than the shit below you, so I can't see them overtaking you. But with the games in hand, I think any little points in it from there, I think might just keep you in 11th.
Fair point.
It's a great season for you boys, to be fair. You can't,
massive. Mate, 17th would have took that at the start.
Yeah.
We both come up together, didn't we? So look, I'd rather be in your position than ours, so...
Yeah, I wouldn't want to swap with you, Shane, I must admit, mate.
Mate, we had it. It's just so annoying that we went up. We came up, didn't we? Beat Villa, come up, went down, come up. Oh, let's just not go down again. I do like winning. I do like winning the playoff final, though. It's quite nice.
You're in the new Palace.
You and Norwich, mate. Yo-Yo City.
And West Brom.
And West Brom, yeah. So, Shane, what do you reckon? Where do you think Leeds will end up?
I think where I saw the table tonight, I thought that was round about where I think Leeds will stay 11th. I think I don't know. Villa, I think they'll end up. They're just one of them teams. They'll grind out results and end up staying in the top 10. But yeah, I think you'll be 11th, 10th, maybe.
To be honest, I'll take 11th as long as Paddy gets a golden boot, which is going to happen anyway. So
it's a great season. You might win it next season. Leicester did that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
second season.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take that, Gal, won't we? Back in Ellen Road next season, win the title.
Absolutely. Oh, please don't.
Oh, imagine.
Oh, mate, if you would never hear the end of it. I'll be knocking on your door fucking middle of the night.
When was the last time you won a check for the Leeds?
Oh, God, you would never hear the end of it, mate. But yeah, that was blinding anyway, boys. We'll end the stream there anyway. Thank you for everyone who's watching. Thanks for tuning in. Slap a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you head over to Gary's podcast, Talking Shutt Podcast, for the Leeds fans. Absolutely superb. Probably my favourite, actually, out of them all. And it's great for the neutral as well, because you give a good point of view from everyone, Cal, on there. It's quality podcast, mate. So
kindly, mate.
Yeah.
Very kindly. Thank you.
Make sure everyone goes over and gives them a follow. I've put the links to Talking Shutt in the description of the video, so everyone get over and give them a watch. Top man. Cheers, guys. Thank you for that.
Tiago.
Yes.
I have to get it in, didn't I?
That was class, boys.